We're going to switch gears now to something right here in New York City, and a new video posted.
New York City is bracing for a new kind of political storm, one led not by federal agents, but by the incoming mayor himself. Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani just released one of his most direct, confrontational videos yet, and the timing could not be more intense.
In New York City, and a new video posted online, New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani.
Mamdani didn't wait for January 1st. He didn't wait for the traditional honeymoon phase that every new mayor gets. Instead, he went straight to the public with a message of urgency. Understand your legal rights when IC shows up.
ICE cannot enter into private spaces like your home, school, or a private area of your workplace without a judicial warrant signed by a judge. If ICE does not have a judicial warrant signed by a judge, you have the right to say, I do not consent to entry.
Mamdani lays it out clearly and legally. A judicial warrant signed by a judge is the only document that allows IC inside your home. Anything else, including paperwork IC prints themselves, does not grant them entry. And yes, you can say, I do not consent. This is not activism. This is constitutional law.
Mamdani's comments come a week after demonstrators gathered in response to ICE agents recently carrying out operations in the city's famed Chinatown.
The political context is impossible to ignore. ICE operations in Manhattan's Chinatown have been growing more visible and more aggressive. Protests erupted, arrests were made, and videos spread online. Mamdani's message wasn't random. It was a direct response to a city on edge.
Additionally, the group Hands Off NYC began holding citywide training classes on Saturday, teaching residents how.
This wasn't just about a single video. Entire organizations are now offering training sessions, teaching New Yorkers exactly how to respond during IC encounters. And the turnout is huge, because communities believe the raids are far from over.
Raids. So, Secretary Johnson, much was made of the meeting that Mayor-elect Mamdani had with President Trump in the White House last month. It's certainly a show of good feelings, but there's never been a real belief.
Just weeks ago, Mamdani met with President Trump. The meeting was cordial, even friendly. But no one believed the honeymoon would last. The federal government has always had New York in its sights, and IC operations are one of its most powerful tools. Mamdani's latest video makes one thing clear. He expects federal pressure, and he's preparing the city for it.
Well, first of all, I agree with what Mayor-elect said. He specifically said a judicial warrant. There's a thing called an administrative warrant issued by the agency itself, which is basically, I hereby authorize myself to go into someplace. You need a judicial warrant to go into a home.
Former Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson, one of the most experienced voices on immigration enforcement, agrees with Mamdani. He explains the legal difference between two documents. Administrative warrant, ICE signs it for themselves. Judicial warrant, signed by a judge, legally required for home entry. Johnson also reminds viewers that many immigrants, even undocumented ones, have lawful protections. DACA asylum seekers, parolees, permanent residents, and more. These people cannot simply be grabbed off the streets by IC.
Country, you're a DACA recipient, you have asylum. So there are a number of different ways someone can be lawfully present, not eligible to be swept off the streets by ICE and put into detention. You're right. New York City is a much, much different place than any of the other places ICE has targeted. I suspect there is a reason.
Johnson provides a rare look into IC strategy. New York City is too dense, too crowded, too heavily monitored by the public. ICE operations here trigger immediate protests, cameras, lawyers, media attention. It's why political figures like Stephen Miller and Tom Homan rarely choose NYC as their battleground. But that may be changing. Mamdani knows it, and Johnson knows it.
To see that the mayor-elect got along so well with President Trump. The mayor of New York needs to have a good relationship with the President of the United States, whoever that is, for lots of reasons.
Johnson highlights something important. A mayor of New York must keep a working relationship with the president, even when they disagree. Trump respects Mamdani's political skill. Mamdani respects the importance of communication. But as Johnson says, with Donald Trump, you're good until you're not.
Curious, I'd like you to prognosticate carefully, if you could. Does this have any concerns in terms of a connection to the midterms? And if it doesn't, overall, what should governors and secretaries of states be doing right now to prepare for the midterms? And are there any concerns that you have about the midterms being tampered with?
Immigration isn't just a New York issue. It's a national election issue, one that could influence the midterms, voter turnout, and political strategy. And Johnson's warning is subtle but serious. Political environments change fast, and IC enforcement can become a political weapon. Zohran Mamdani is entering office at a moment of incredible tension. ICE raids in Chinatown, community training sessions, federal pressure, and a mayor-elect openly telling people how to defend themselves legally. The next chapter of New York politics won't be quiet. It won't be easy, and it won't be predictable. But one thing is clear: New York City is preparing for a showdown, legal, political, and deeply human.